What's up, guys? Trail here, better known as Budget Bill, and this is your second stimulus check update and stimulus package update for Monday, September the 28th. Hope you guys and gals are having a beautiful Monday morning around the world. Today I have a stimulus weekend news update to share with you, so be sure to stay until the end. Today, we want to talk about the stimulus talks are being resumed once again. Also, President Trump is going to send out $200 gift cards to millions of Americans, as well as we're going to talk about the Democrats working on a new stimulus plan, and President Trump nominates the new judge for Supreme Court. But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you think Congress should get off their and send you your stimulus checks. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin resumed talks last week on the stalled stimulus package negotiations after a month-long of deadlock. They spoke on Friday, on which we don't know exactly what was said in that meeting, but we are told that they agreed to continue to negotiate the talks on the next stimulus package bill. This is definitely some great news because the current state of the stimulus checks is now in a better place than where they were about a month ago, which was a time when Nancy Pelosi and Steve Mnuchin were not even speaking to one another. So this is definitely some good news and a good sign moving forward. So now that they have come back to the table and agreed to resume negotiations and work together to get a stimulus relief bill that would be bipartisan and include requested items from both sides of the aisle, the Democrats are hoping this bill can be voted on and passed in the House sometime this week and ultimately lead to stimulus checks being sent out to Americans before the November election. Nancy Pelosi has been consistent that the White House agrees to at least a $2.2 trillion package that would include relief aid for state and local governments and unemployment benefits of $600 per week and $1,200 big fat stimulus checks for the American people. However, the White House has only offered $1 trillion with an option suggested by President Trump to increase to $1.5 trillion, but not willing to go any higher than that. The Republicans introduced the skinny bill, which was a scaled down bill that offered limited relief right now with an option to provide more relief at a later time. That bill ended up being voted against as it didn't include any stimulus checks. So now that the negotiation talks are being restarted, the Republicans have already stated that they don't want to go any higher than $500 billion, and they don't want to go any higher than the $1.5 trillion. They are stating that they wasn't interested in supporting the $1.5 trillion, let alone supporting $2.2 trillion that the Democrats are requesting at this time. So, late last week, the House Democrats started to prepare a new $2.4 trillion stimulus plan that would include unemployment aid and direct payments to Americans affected by the pandemic. They are expected to have this ready and voted on sometime this week. There might be a better chance at getting a bill signed as most lawmakers are ready to go back home so they can campaign in their own states before the November election. Chief of Staff Mark Meadows has already told the media reporters that members of Congress are trying to leave Washington while pretending to be working hard on the next stimulus relief deal. He encouraged them to take their cameras to Ronald Reagan's Washington airport to catch them in the act. However, Nancy Pelosi has been very clear in telling the House Democrats that they will not be leaving for their campaign trail until we have reached a deal and an agreement is passed on the next stimulus package deal. So, we will just have to see how that turns out in the coming days. Moving on, President Trump nominates Amy Coney Barrett as the new Supreme Court Justice on Saturday. Amy Barrett is a conservative federal appeals court judge who will be replacing the late Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg on the U.S. Supreme Court. As we are already in a very fierce battle for the next president, this selection definitely gives President Trump an edge going forward. Trump called his selection a very proud moment and that she is going to be fantastic. In other news, President Trump made an announcement promising to send $200 in drug discount gift cards to 33 million seniors prior to the November election. President Trump noted that he has already lowered high prescription drug costs for older Americans, and now he wants to add some additional aid money to help out with the additional drug expenses. He stated that these are some very incredible cards during a speech on healthcare, and that they will be mailed out in the coming weeks. He specifically wants everyone to know that he will always take care of our wonderful senior citizens, and that presidential candidate Joe Biden won't be doing that. Well guys, that's all I have for you today. Now, if you could do me a huge favor, if you found value in this video, be sure to give it a like. It takes me a lot of time to research this information and to create these videos to share with you. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel as well. It's totally free. Other than that, hey, I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Peace.